Hello gang, it's Wednesday the 20th, is it the 20th? I think it's the 20th. Wednesday the 20th of April 2016. As you can see, we're out in the garden today. Beautiful day, the sun is beaming. It's beaming at you boys and girls. I've already been out, had a haircut, that's why we're a bit late today. A little bit of a haircut, you see. Most disappointed, boy wasn't there today to cut my hair. It was more like man today. Very, very disappointed. However, not a bad job, is it? I didn't have the shave today. I had the burning ears thing, but not the shave and the hot towel, just a general haircut. Yes, that's what I've done today so far. We've got an email here from someone who wishes to wish a belated birthday to someone. Now, obviously, as I'm in the garden, no orchestra out here, I'm afraid. The band does not reside outside. It's a little bit windy. I hope you can hear me all right. It's a bit windy out here. So we've got to say an email for here from Peter Hides, who says, could you do my brother a happy birthday message? He was 60 on Sunday, 60. Oh, I do hope to get there. 60 on Sunday, and I couldn't make it to his party because I fractured my elbow. How did you do that? Do be more careful with your bones. It gets harder as you get older, dear. You know, one sudden slip and there's just pieces on the floor, pieces of you, which they have to put back together, Peter. Do be careful. So happy birthday to Douglas Harvey, who was 60 on Sunday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Douglas. Happy birthday to you. There we are, sir. Hope that's all right for you. Hope it's nice where you are today. Get out in the garden and have a nice time. Look at my lovely flowers, all coming up, dear. We can't go past the garden centre without buying another car full of flowers. I'm telling you that now. Adam, I mentioned that the cat, unfortunately, I put the lid on and she's not using the litter tray anymore and has weed her bed again. But Adam says, Chris, RE the cat flap on Katie's new litter house. Use a clothes peg to hold the door open until she gets used to it. And returning to your house, so that's what I've done. I haven't used a clothes peg, but I have actually jammed the door open. The flap is in its open position. So hopefully, when she wants to go, she will now see that she's only got to enter into that little square bit, boys and girls, that little square bit onto her little white stones, have her wee, then come out, run around the kitchen and deposit the small white stones in various parts of the kitchen, all over my nice tiled floor, which was washed the other day, as you well know. I'm not one for washing my floor very often. I can't lie to you. You know, maybe once every 2 months. It's bad, isn't it? I know my mum used to do the house every day. Every day I'd get woken up in the morning by the lovely sound, actually. It wasn't a horrible sound, by the lovely sound of the hoover banging into the corners, going up and down the stairs. Every day she would hoover. I'm lucky to do this house once a week, dear. We can't be doing hoovering, dear. Adam also says, turning your house into a Taj Mahal, we couldn't possibly do that as it's already earmarked for the new Chris Reardon Museum, incorporating the United Kingdom Talk studio tour, but there will be instructions at the bottom of the stairs as to how to get to it without wearing out the carpet. I should hope so as well. Don't you come in my house and walk up the middle of the staircase. I should be very disappointed. This year, we're walking up the left-hand side of the staircase, which actually is the most difficult because that's right against the wall. So if you are ever invited to my house, and for whatever reason you're invited upstairs, pardon? No, not for that. Please, I keep telling you, this is a family-based programme. Up the stairs, you must walk tight, not just to the left, but tight to the left. Almost, so as you put one foot down, the other foot kind of goes in front of it, but up the stairs, so as to not use up 2 treads, because we need the... Oh, there's a bloody helicopter coming over now. That'd be... Are they looking from... Hello? Oh, army boys. Down here, down here. No, never mind. Yes, please walk up the tight to the left-hand side of the stairs so that we must make the carpet last as soon as possible, okay? Also, I'm not sure about this. You talk about it being a Chris Reardon museum, but don't people have to be dead before they appear in museums? I mean, I have been to the National History Museum a long time ago now, and most of the exhibits did appear to be dead or just a painting. I mean, certainly that dinosaur didn't look alive. It was just a bag of old bones, wasn't it? I wonder if I'll be dug up. Did you see that story in the paper at the weekend? As a bloke who was digging stuff up, what were they doing? Laying an electricity cable, and they found old Roman remains or something like that. And I was wondering if that might happen to me, mightn't it? When I'm dead, they might be laying an electricity cable somewhere and suddenly come across my bones. Well, I hope they're a little bit, you know, nice. Don't just chuck them away, dear. They may need to be buried somewhere with a small cross next to them. Yes, so I can keep an eye on them when they're upstairs. What else have we got here today? Just a minute, let me refer to my notes. Oh yes, some old bag in the swimming pool. Now, did I tell you about her the other day? Oh yes. Now, so in our pool, right, it's not a massive swimming pool, but it's split up into two halves. On that side, you've got walkers and children and people just want to be in the water. On the other side is the adult length swim side, okay? Now, it's not that big. If there are two people, fine, you know, we tend to go up each side, one on one side, one on the other. There isn't really room for a third person in the middle, and that works quite well. You can have a lot of swimmers in there, you know, 4, 5, maybe 6, as long as they respect each other, okay? But there's some woman who I've come across twice now, and I haven't spoken to her yet. And she insists, I don't know if she thinks, she goes down one side okay, but when she goes down the other side, she's always close to the middle. And there's been a couple of times we nearly come to blows as we go past. I don't know if she can't see or whatever, she can see. Nothing wrong with her blooming eyes, but do you know what I mean? And you want to say, get over your own bloody side. But I usually leave that sort of thing to someone else, you know. So that's her, but there's another old bag in there now. She's got grey hair and she wears glasses. And I was talking to someone in the change room the other day, and immediately he knew I was talking about. Apparently, her name is Sue. And surprise, surprise, she used to be a school teacher. And she likes to, she likes to pull people across and tell them what the rules of the swimming pool is. Oh yes, yeah, she thinks she's still some sort of bloody school teacher. I've watched her do it. She does it to some Chinese girl. She did it, who's in there regular. There's 2 Chinese ladies who come in there. I don't think they know each other. And they're as nice as anything. They just get on with their swim, and they're good swimmers. All Chinese people, I think, are really good swimmers. They are. Anyway, she comes in, and she pulled her across and said something to someone, because she was going quite fast. And someone else wanted to get in that side who was quite slow. You know, she said, oh, I hope you don't mind me saying, but you're quite a powerful swimmer, and my friend wants to go. And I thought, why don't you mind your own bloody business, you old bag? And she said something to some bloke the other day. I heard her talking to some bloke, and then someone else. So now she hasn't said anything to me yet, and she wants to. Because I will say to her, excuse me, were you a school teacher or something? At which point she say yes. I said, well, have you retired from there now? You were probably quite a good school teacher. But we're not your children, and we don't need to be told what to do and what not to do now. So mind your own business, you old bag. I don't know if I should include the term, you old bag, at the end of that or not, or just finish with, please mind your own business, and then go off and swim and see what she says to that. Because no one seems to talk to her back, and that's what she needs. Honestly, who do they think they are? God's sake. That's why there's 2 lanes. That's for the slow people, that's for the fast people. It's not hard, is it? It's not hard. Dear me. Now, what else have we got here? I'm not being harsh today, am I? Put a little note under there. Are you a swimmer? Does it annoy you? Oh, there's a little robin has visited. There's 2 robins that visit my garden, and they're getting closer and closer to me now. What's the chances that it would come on my finger? Hello. I know you can't see it over there. He's quite big. Little robins. 2 robins visit the garden. And I've noticed as I sit here, whether I'm having a cup of tea or maybe something to eat or something like that, as I sit here, they are getting, or one of them's getting closer and closer. It seems to take a few more closer hops towards my chair. Now he's actually, let me check the distance. He's about, there, he's coming closer now. He's now about 6 foot away from me. Oh no, it's flown off now. I think it's testing me. It must learn that I'm not going to hurt it. I'm not one of those awful people that eat animals. No. Have a carrot today. Some items from the newspaper, boys and girls. Now, I thought this was a bit of a non-story, to be honest. It was in The Sun on Sunday. I've started flicking through The Sun. I know that's bad, isn't it? Through The Sun. Apprentice Chief Lord Sugar was branded irresponsible for appearing to let his 13-year-old grandson fly his plane. The qualified pilot posted cockpit snaps of Joe during a flight last week. I mean, that is just a non-story, isn't it? There's a little picture of him and his little grandson there. Oh, it's very windy out here. Him and his grandson there. Can you see that? I mean, that to me is a non-story. Do you think for one moment that that boy had full control of that plane? Of course he didn't. You know, they're all dual control, those little planes, aren't they? What a stupid thing to do. It's like, you know, I'm sure if we've got any fathers watching, that they've often had their child on their lap, maybe. Have you? You naughty people. You've had your child on your lap in front of that steering wheel, and their little boy or girl thinks they're driving the car. Now, you know that's naughty, but have they actually got full control of the car? Of course they haven't. Stupid story. Also in The Sun today, actually, a mum of 3 turned into a human fireball when her polyester top was engulfed in flames as she cooked dinner for her family. She'd been left with 30, I have to say, very nasty burns, really nasty burns. There are some pictures in today's Sun. Following the horrific accident when the sleeve of her 12-pound top from George at Asda caught the flame on her gas hob. Well, 2 things there. Number 1, serves you right for buying such a cheap top. And number 2, you know, these things don't just catch alight, whether it's polyester or wool or anything. You must have leaned over the gas hob. So it's your fault, and stop blooming moaning and blaming Asda. Stupid woman. How stupid can you be? What do you think's going to happen when you lean over a gas hob and the flame's coming up? Your clothes, it might just catch fire, dear. God's sake, woman. If you're going to run in the London Marathon, look at this. The London Marathon could be hit by snow for the first time in its 35-year history. Forecasters warn today. Chilly showers sweep... Oh, it's the day before I go on holiday. And to the East Coast. To the East Coast I'm going in a caravan. Is it going to... Please don't let it snow. Chilly showers sweeping across the country on Sunday morning could dump sleet or even wet snow on the capital. Oh dear. Well, that's good news, isn't it, for us motorists? Perhaps we won't have all those blasted joggers jamming up the roads of London. Well, it doesn't affect me this time because I shall be away somewhere. But you do feel when they have these events through London, and it is the most ridiculous. The other one is the cycle race. Oh, Christ. I got caught in that once. I was on my way to work when we was at the Cherry Tree. I'm no longer there anymore because it closed. It does seem to happen a lot. You know, I take on jobs and then venues close. Funny that, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, I was got on my way to that one Sunday a couple of years ago, and the cycle race was on. Couldn't move. Turned off the engine and sat there for about an hour. Oh, it was dreadful. So hopefully the snow will stop people running, and it might allow other people, you know, to move around London, not just the selfish runners, dear. God's sake. And finally on the show today, boys and girls, is it possible? Is it possible at some point in the future, that I might actually be paid to do this load of nonsense that for some reason you're still watching? I never understand why you're watching this. I'll be honest with you, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, want to get paid for using Facebook? This is in today's Daily Mail. Site could soon let users leave a tip for their posts. So it's not like, you know, you do a show, okay, we'll pay you, I don't know, we'll pay you whatever, you know, £10 or £100. We'll pay you £100 a show. It's not like that. So what you would do would watch one of these things and then click a button to leave a tip. Now, obviously you couldn't be a percentage, could it? Because 10% of nothing is nothing. 100% of nothing is nothing, is it? So it couldn't be anything like that. So survey, it says here, tip jar, says fans could tip. Are you a fan? Are you really? Are you a fan? Tip jar says fans could tip you money, branded content, earning profit through sponsorship arrangement and revenue sharing from ads posted. Maybe we could be sponsored, boys and girls. We could be sponsored, I think, by Waitrose. I think Waitrose would be more than happy to sponsor these wonderful television spectaculars that I produce for you almost daily, boys and girls, at no cost to you. At no cost to you. Facebook hasn't confirmed this yet. Oh. We're committed to creating sustainable long-term monetisation models for our partner. Oh, what a load of rubbish that is. That's all the salesman talk, isn't it? We don't do anything like that. Salesman talk. Dear me. Eh? But you could soon be leaving a tip if you wanted to watch this. My question is, and put your answer under there, or send in an email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, how much would you have tipped to watch this little show? Have a lovely Wednesday. Being Wednesday, I shall be hosting a quiz night tonight at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Upper Street, Islington. That's N1, okay? Once again, quiz night every Wednesday and tonight from 8:30 p.m. at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Islington. Hope to see some of you there. Have a lovely Wednesday. Get out in the sunshine. Ta-da.